Welcome into A to Z Sports Prime Time on a Thursday night. Hope everybody's feeling right. Hope you are living well here on this Thursday evening. We are going to get into some Julio Jones watch. We spoke to Ryan Tannehill today at Titans OTAs for the first time since last season. We're going to enjoy the conversation that we're going to get into tonight. You're going to hear from Ryan Tannehill, and we're going to spend some time on how he helped update us on Julio Jones watch. We're also going to spend some time on the Titans wide receiver core and a new feature presented to us by our friends at Brymac Mechanical. It's called the Brymac Bounce Back, and we're looking forward to getting into that with you tonight. Before we get going on this primetime Thursday evening, I need you guys to share this show. If you're with us on Twitter, do as I have just done and retweet this show in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. That is how you get involved, with a simple retweet in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. If you're on Facebook Live with us, in fact, I'll do it with you. It's quite simple. It's in the bottom left. It's share now to public. That is how your Facebook friends get involved on this beautiful Thursday in June. We're going to enjoy the conversation together. We want to make sure we get your Facebook friends involved as well. If you're hanging out with us on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the A to Z Sports YouTube channel and like this video. We will enjoy this together. A lot of you guys asking me about my getup tonight. So here's what's happening right now. Full disclosure, because we're gonna power through this primetime show, because what happened to me tonight. But Sawyer says Buck just came out of the dugout. Literally, I just did. I'm in a celebrity softball game right at this moment at First Horizon Park with the Nashville Sounds play. They asked me to play. We're in the third inning. I said, I got to run home. I got to do the primetime show. It's me on Will Compton's. It's me on Will Compton's team. Jelly Roll. Terry Bradshaw is our coach. It's an incredible setup at First Horizon. So I said, let me get back. Let me do a primetime show. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to go back to the celebrity softball game after we wrap up. But I couldn't leave you hanging. So I said, not even going to change. I smell terrible. Clearly, I'm sweaty. I gave up the first home run of the game. It was a disaster. But that is what's happening with me. I am going to go back to the game afterwards, but I said it's the third inning. It's taking 2 hours to get through 3 innings. Let me do this, and then we're going to go back, and I'm going to hit a damn home run. I got an RBI, but a home run is what's on my list. Anyway, now that more of you are here, let's begin the show officially. Welcome into A to Z Sports Prime Time on a Thursday night from the DraftKings Sportsbook Studios. I'm your host, Buck Rising, and I'm proud as always to be presented to you by the fine folks at Two Rivers Ford. That's how you get involved with award-winning customer service with a dealership that provides you incredibly well-made American Ford vehicles. Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet, or online at tworiversford.com. DraftKings Sportsbook, where you can get in on all the action. If you'd have bet, I don't know if they're doing odds on the celebrity softball game at the Nashville, so like I'm a celebrity or whatever. But they asked me to play yesterday, so I said, hell with it. I didn't think it was going to take this long. That's why I'm here. Just a tiny bit. Actually, we're doing pretty good. We're on time. But we're going to get through this primetime show so I can go back and play. If there was odds, you know what? I'll tell you about the odds later on the celebrity softball game. All I'm going to tell you about DraftKings Sportsbook is you can make some money with the promo code A2Z Sports. That's how you get in on all the action in the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Brymac Mechanical, BRYMAK, Brymac.com. That's where you go for satisfaction guaranteed on each and every one of your HVAC needs. They will put you in a position to succeed and get in your comfort zone at Brymac.com. And of course, the Ashton Real Estate Group of RE/MAX Advantage at GaryAshton.com. The big homie will get you your dream address without the stress. And if you're in the market to sell for more, sell with the Ashton team at GaryAshton.com. So you guys want to, Buck, you're starting to look like a lot like Ben Roethlisberger, says John Vargas. Well, I don't know about that. It's actually a proven fact that eye tape makes you run faster, says Evan C. White. You go, Buck. Tighten up from the great one, Mitch T. Firkins in here. Hi, Buck. Attires question. You guys want to see my full outfit for the Sound Celebrity Softball game that is currently in progress, and then I'm going to go back and play. And I'll take down the graphic for a second so you can see the full getup. I am a member. We're playing in the Folds of Honor Celebrity Softball game tonight at the Sounds Park. I'm on Terry Bradshaw's team. It's me, Terry Bradshaw, Will Compton, Jelly Roll. Who else is playing tonight? A bunch of country singers that I've just met for the first time. A lot of good athletes out there. I'm playing against Deshaun Kaiser, who is the Titans' backup quarterback. It's a whole mess. A whole bunch of people came out, and we're really enjoying ourselves. But I said, like I said, I love you guys. I got to come back, and I got to hang with my primetime peeps, no matter if I am in the midst of an athletic event. Like I said, I gave up the first home run, so they were happy to get me out of the field. So let's get things going with your Two Rivers Ford take. That's what we can get started here for you on a Thursday night. What's the first thing the Titans need to do to get Julio Jones? Let me know in the comment section on Facebook Live, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch. What is the first thing that the Titans need to do to get Julio Jones in the building, as my dear friend Ron Slay likes to say? Let me know on Facebook Live, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch. We will discuss together here on the Primetime Show. Let me know, and I will tell you while you guys do that, I'll tell you about our friends at Two Rivers Ford who present the Two Rivers Ford Take. Quality American-made Ford vehicles. That's what they have for you at Two Rivers Ford. Whether they're new or whether they're pre-owned, you know that you will get award-winning customer service by the fine folks at John Barker's Two Rivers Ford. It's out in Mount Juliet, just a quick whip out 7 miles east of Nashville International Airport in scenic, beautiful Mount Juliet, Tennessee. They will get you going. You can test drive any of their fantastic vehicles if you so choose at Two Rivers Ford, or customize your own and purchase online, because they give you the option to do that too at tworiversford.com. They present the Two Rivers Ford Take each and every night. Whose spot did you take for the softball game, says Caleb Gray? No, they asked me. Listen, actually, A.J. Brown was supposed to play. Taylor Lewan was supposed to coach. They both backed out, but Sean Kaiser and Will Compton showed up, so respect to them. Jelly Roll, that's my guy, says C-Rock. Man, Jelly Roll's out there pouring tequila shots. I said after the Primetime Show, Jelly, then I will come back and I will rip some Casamigos, no free ads, with you. Jelly Roll had a base hit. He's out there killing it, man. I love Jelly Roll. This is my dude. What do you need to do to get Julio Jones in the building? What's the first thing you need to do? Benji says, utilize patience. Robbie L says, just do it, baby. Restrictions, says Philip Anderson. I'm not sure what you mean by restrictions, but you'll have to be more specific. Titans for Life says, find a way to cheat the cap. Well, listen, you have options available to you to cheat the cap. There are several that the Titans have not yet chosen to use, but we spoke to Ryan Tannehill today at St. Thomas Sports Park, because I was out there for OTAs. I literally went from radio ended at 1, practice started at 1. I was there. Practice ended at 3:30. The softball game started, or at least the meet and greet portion of the softball game started at 4. Your boy got there, and we're on time for prime time, which does my heart so good, because you know I'm not going to let you down. We would never do that to you, which all of you are like, I don't care. We talk about Julio any other night, but I will tell you that I care, and that is why you guys are important to me. I love you. So that's why I needed to show up for the primetime show. And also it was taking 2.5 hours to get through 3 innings of softball and a 7-inning softball game. Have A.J. Brown drag him in, says the Deej. Do we really need Julio, says Steven Stanford. Well, we'll talk about the Titans wide receivers here in just a second. Corey D. Jackson says, Buck, you're a beast. I don't know about that. That's why we love you, Buck, man of the people, says John Vargas. Hey, it's okay, baby. We're keeping it rocking. Buy Terry Fontenot a cameo from Mike Vrabel, says Juice Bucks. I love that as an answer. I guess whatever. We had a young Corey Davis, says Narv, dude. Yeah, but a young Corey Davis is still not as good as a 32-year-old Julio Jones, without question. First rounder, says Ryan Dominic. Can relate to him and his music, says Sawyer. Yeah, Jelly Roll touches a lot of people with it. You know Jelly Roll's farting. Man, you better stop. Jelly Roll is dope, says Sawyer. I mean, I'm telling you, I love this man. Absolutely need Julio, says Sawyer. Give them a second. Here's what I'll tell you. I reported that the Tennessee Titans are not the team with a first-round pick on the table. They have not offered a first-round pick in the Julio Jones sweepstakes. Send Rashaan Evans in a third for Julio, says Oroboso. Well, listen, Dean Pease knows, and Arthur Smith knows Rashaan Evans better than anybody. They're not going to take Rashaan Evans in a third. Rashaan Evans is going to have to be like an also-ran just for the sake of contracts. So are there any other teams? Or are we just waiting on an agreement, says Blake Stewart? Nah, teams are dipping their toes in. The Seahawks have been most consistent. The Rams and the Ravens kind of got in and out. But right now, Titans are just sitting on their hands saying, okay, Falcons, show me your first-round pick. who is offering you this first round pick. This is nothing. This is nothing that we have heard about. This is nothing that anybody else is willing to offer. We understand that you got Mohamed Sanu for a second round pick from the Patriots and one of Bill Belichick's rare dumb moves that he has done. But the question remains, your Two Rivers Ford take, what's the first thing the Titans need to do to get Julio Jones? Please let me know in the comment section on Facebook Live, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch. We asked Ryan Tannehill today because Ryan Tannehill has a big part to play in all of this, not just because he's going to be the quarterback of the Tennessee Titans and the person who would be throwing Julio Jones the ball, but also because he can free up about $16 million in cap space if he was simply to restructure.
Yeah, Ryan, have you and John had any conversations about maybe restructuring? And if not, would you entertain that to help land certain players that might be out there?
Yeah, I mean, that's up to John. He's going to have to figure that out if that's something that we want to do as an organization. I don't know. That's above my pay grade. But, if he comes to me, then we'll have that conversation then.
So that's Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill. And what he's saying, I forgot to put my earpiece in. I was like, Tannehill's talking. I can't hear him because I was in a rush. So now we threw the earpiece in. So all is well and right in the world. Excuse me if it looks a little unprofessional. I didn't have time to tuck it like I usually do. So Tannehill, literally all Tannehill has to do is restructure. That's all that has to happen. Ryan Tannehill can free up $16 million in cap space right now if all he does is do the restructure. Now, what he said there is that the Titans have not yet asked him for a restructure. And I'll tell you why that's important and why that's okay here in just a second. It's okay for right now. Here in just a second, right after I remind you about the fine folks at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's my favorite sportsbook because it's America's top-rated sportsbook app and because it's so easy to use. I love DraftKings Sportsbook because it's easy to navigate. It's got plenty of instructions for new bettors and nearly limitless ways to get in on all the action. My friends, my family, you guys, you tell me all the time how much you love DraftKings Sportsbook. And so I know that those of you who are not using it will love it too. When you use the DraftKings Sportsbook app, it's safe, secure, and reliable so you can deposit and withdraw your funds at your convenience. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the promo code A2ZSports when you sign up to turn $1 into $100 in free credits. I'll tell you how you do it. You bet on the basketball team of your choice in the NBA playoffs to win their next game, and if they do, you will claim $100 in free credits. It's promo code A2ZSports, just as you see behind me, for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Tennessee only, wager paid out in-site credits. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and you want help, call or text the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. That's how things get done in the DraftKings Sportsbook app. So all Tannehill has to do is a restructure. But what he said, and if you missed it, if you're just now joining us, I'll run it back because it was a pretty short answer when Gentry asked him the question. And he didn't say Julio. He just said, if the team were to add a player, would you be willing to take a restructure? Here was quarterback or RT17.
Yeah, Ryan, have you and John had any conversations about maybe restructuring? And if not, would you entertain that to help land certain players that might be out there?
Yeah, I mean, that's up to John. He's going to have to figure that out if that's something that we want to do as an organization. I don't know. That's above my pay grade. But, if he comes to me, then we'll have that conversation then.
So, Ryan Tannehill says that John Robinson has not yet approached him about a restructure. And here's why that's okay. Because they're playing the waiting game. They're calling the Atlanta Falcons bluff. They're saying, I've seen the report from Diana Rossini about a first-round pick being out there. I don't see anybody else. We're calling around the league. We haven't heard anybody offering a first-round pick. We're sure as hell not offering a first-round pick. So why would we restructure Ryan Tannehill right now without Julio Jones in hand? It makes no sense to do. Unless they are ready to sign the deal for Julio, unless a trade has been agreed upon between the Titans and the Falcons, the Ryan Tannehill restructure is not essential yet. It means that the Titans are playing the waiting game because I think everybody expected there to be a big bidding war over Julio Jones, and right now it's honestly pretty slow. and it could drag out until training camp. Is that what he said? I didn't think that he said J-Rob hasn't come to him yet, says Titans for Life. Well, let me play back the clip for you one more time, because initially I didn't think he said it either, but listen to the end of the clip.
Yeah, Ryan, have you and John had any conversations about maybe restructuring? And if not, would you entertain that to help land certain players that might be out there?
Yeah, I mean, that's up to John. He's going to have to figure that out if that's something that we want to do as an organization. I don't know. That's above my pay grade. But if he comes to me, then we'll have that conversation then.
He said, if he comes to me, then we'll have that conversation. That's from Ryan Tannehill himself. He has not yet been approached about a restructure. As Titans for Life said, I didn't think that he said J-Rob hasn't come to him. He said, if he comes to me, then we'll have that conversation. Ryan Tannehill has not yet been approached about a restructure at this point. Anthony Miller or Michael Gallup seem like more logical target. No, Alex, you can get Julio. You can get Julio. It's just waiting out the Falcons. Don't be so impatient that you blow this thing. Ryan Tannehill knows that it would be a big deal. Mike Vrabel knows that it would be a big deal. John Robinson, you all know that this would be a big deal. The Tennessee Titans are the team that makes the most sense for Ryan Tannehill. Call Atlanta's bluff and let the deal come to you. You don't have to be hyper aggressive. Other teams can do that, and really, they're just trying to figure it out. Ryan Tannehill does not need to be restructured yet until they have a deal for Julio in hand. Right now, they're sitting back and waiting. They have an offer on the table. They have called around, and they think they know what everybody else has on the table. Now, teams aren't going to straight up say, yeah, John, I didn't offer him a first. So you can come in with a second, and it'll be just fine. You'll get him no problem at all. Does John Robinson know, says Babin? What, John Robinson 100% know. Diana still think the Titans are a long shot? Nope. I talked to Diana over the weekend when Pro Football Talk Mike Florio refuted her reporting. She said that more details about what she reported will come out about the long shot for the Titans, but it is not a long shot here in Tennessee. Guys, I can tell you that right now, based on the conversations that I'm having, based on the reporting that you see consistently. Tennessee makes the most sense. They are the shoe-in. They are the easiest to do the finances for. They have the draft capital available. They have the need, and they know Arthur Smith. And Arthur Smith, he's not the one responsible for making the deal. Terry Fontenot is. But there is good faith dealings between these two organizations. It's just a matter of waiting Atlanta out, because right now they're bluffing about this first-round pick. It's just a matter of how long the Titans are willing to wait. And if we learned anything from Clowney Watch, they're willing to wait quite a bit. Caleb Gray says, I just don't like Tannehill having a $40 million cap hit next season. Buddy, it's going to be up over $200 million. You don't got to worry about it. It's going to go up $20 million. It goes up on an average basis outside of this year by 10. It's going to be an unprecedented salary cap rise in a way that you guys don't worry about the cap hit for Ryan Tannehill. Atlanta has restructured. Worry about winning the damn Super Bowl. Atlanta has restructured Matt Ryan a million times. Yes, now it's coming to bear because they have to get Julio off their books, but it's not the end of the world. Restructures used to be the devil. The salary cap keeps going up outside of the COVID year. You guys are in prime position. You're in the driver's seat to land this dude. And don't forget it. Don't sleep on it. Don't get tired of it. Continue to be patient as they play the waiting game, essentially, for Julio Jones. Because if somebody's going to outbid them, they haven't done it yet. Let's move on and let's talk about the Tennessee Titans wide receiver core. Let me know in the comment section, scale of 1 to 10, how concerned are you about the current Titans wide receiving core? Let me know in the comment section on Facebook Live, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch. We welcome your participation as always. Give us your answer, scale of 1 to 10. How confident, or how concerned rather, are you in this Titans wide receiving group? While you guys do that, I will tell you about the fine folks at the Ashton Real Estate Group of RE/MAX Advantage at GaryAshton.com. That's the place that you go for satisfaction guaranteed on all. No, I'm sorry. I was talking about Brymac. Let me tell you about Gary. Gary will get you your dream address without the stress. Gary will help you sell your home for more. It's quite simple. Gary Ashton is the main real estate agent, the biggest, the baddest, the official real estate agent of the Titans, the Preds, and A to Z Sports Prime Time. Gary Ashton will put you in a position to make sound real estate investments at GaryAshton.com. That is where you should go. So the question is, scale of 1 to 10, how concerned are you with the Titans wide receiver core at this point? Eric Lewis says, love the show, but the amount of ad sponsors is crazy. Eric, do you like free content? Eric, do you like the fact that I literally I live around the block from First Horizon Park where the Nashville Sounds play. But do you enjoy, if you enjoy the show and you enjoy the show being free and you enjoy me, and listen, it's my job. I get paid to do it. I could have very easily taken tonight off to go finish playing in the Nashville Sounds game. If you don't like the people that make this show free for you, tough shit, honestly, Eric. We provide a free service for you. You will never have to pay for anything on the A to Z Sports Primetime Show. There are so many people who believe in this show, who provide, you know how hard it was for me to get people when I was starting out to believe in this show? I said, hey, I'm doing a show on Facebook about the Tennessee Titans. They said, what the hell are you talking about? Are you some kind of blogger? What is this, a podcast? I said, no, this is something, I know we can do it. I believe in it like hell. And we've got over 400 people across the 4 social platforms watching live. And that does my heart good. You know what else does my heart good? Knowing that you guys don't have to pay for the show, knowing that I'm going to be here for you every Sunday through Thursday night, knowing that I'm not going to take a day off, even if I'm in the middle of something. Eric, deal with it. Tough shit. Here on A to Z Sports Prime Time. I love you. Robbie Stanley says, get it. That's right, Robbie. Robbie's playing in the softball game too, and I'm coming back, Robbie. Make sure you don't. Robbie's on the opposite team. Robbie's on the opposite team, so I hope you're losing, Robbie, but I'll be back here in just a second. A-Jet says, don't like it, go pay for Paul. It's literally the standard in the industry. That's what I'm saying. Wow, I can't believe he just said that. Maybe he doesn't understand how it works. Maybe not. I mean, listen, I love you all to death. It's always going to be free for you. That's how this thing goes down. I love that Robbie is chirping at me. He's sitting in the opposing dugout. He's playing for Team Budweiser. I'm playing for Team Bradshaw Bourbon. Robbie Stanley is it cracks me up. I hope you're losing, Robbie. Give me a score update when you can. I'll be back here in just a second. Buck's not tired yet, says Superman. Hell no, I'm not. Hell no, I'm not. Let's ride. He one of the 400 watching, says Joseph Hampton. You damn sure. I love this show. I'm first every night, says Brad. It's true. He is there every night. Who sponsored the Eye Black, says Jack A. Gentry. That's right, baby. I got you. I feel you, Buck. I'm going to give you a like for that, buddy. Hell yeah. Out the Crib Customs on IG. We love to see it. We love to see it here on the Primetime Show. Apologize now, Eric, before Buck grabs you a free one. That's all I'm saying. Danny Sutherland says, I want more hands. There's Luke Corbett. I was scrolling and looking for it. Eric, I love you, but come on. Scale of 1 to 10. How do you feel about the about the Titans wide receiving core? Eric says, wow, that escalated quickly. Well, don't piss me off, Eric. That's how it goes. Bitch less. It's good for you, except not for me because they pay me to do it. So John says a 6. Titan Superman says a 4. Frank Moe is 7.5 in terms of his confidence in this wide receiving core. Now we're talking about without Julio Jones. We're talking about without Julio Jones. Bizarre PK says the Titans have wide receivers. Yes, in fact, they do. I saw Josh Reynolds for the first time today. Y'all better watch out for that LSU wide receiver, says Timothy Lunsford. I mean, he's, Racey McMath's fine. He's just big. He's bulky. He's kind of slow. If he can play tight end, that'd be swell. Eduardo says a 5. Corey D. Jackson says 8.5 minus 6 for the GOAT CJ2K. D. Good says 6.9. Nice. Here's what I asked Ryan Tannehill. In fact, I'll let you hear what I asked Ryan Tannehill about A.J. Brown, about A.J. Brown playing without Corey Davis and Jonnu Smith, how much more attention he's going to attract and what that's going to do to their schemes. Here is QB1 RT17.
And then without Corey and Jonnu, how do you anticipate coverage is going to change for A.J., and what are the kind of challenges there?
Yeah, AJ is not going to sneak up on anybody. Everyone kind of knows the talent he has and what he brings to the table. So it's going to be a big opportunity for the other guys that we have to find opportunities to get open. AJ will continue to do his thing. We'll have to be creative in finding ways to make sure he gets his opportunities. But like I said, teams are going to account for AJ. It's going to be a team effort and details by us to make sure that we do everything we can to put him in good positions and then execute when we get there.
As long as you got A.J. Brown, you're in good business. You're in good business. If they are healthy, I am sitting at about a 6 for the Titans wide receiver core. I like Josh Reynolds. I've watched enough film on him. I don't know about Cam Batson. I like Anthony Ferkser because I count him as a wide receiver as opposed to a tight end. Although he looks super bulky right now. His thighs and his calves look massive, which is good because he's going to need to do a hell of a lot more blocking than he's used to if he is in fact going to be tight end 1. I'm sitting at about a 6 for this Titans wide receiving core as currently constructed. You tell me they got Julio Jones and they're healthy and he's healthy. I will tell you that I'm at a 10 out of 10. And I never say that about the Titans. I'm never that confident in the Titans, 100%. Aside from AJ, we have no one, says Lance. That's not true. I really like Josh Reynolds. Relax, breathe. I'm so glad when you guys can do press conferences again, Buck, says Texas Sports 1015. Honestly, it made it a lot easier for me to do the Zoom now that I have the radio show because they do Titans media availability right in the middle of my radio show, which is unfortunate because I want to be there. I want to be there in person. We're going to have to figure that out so I don't lose. I mean, I'm going to get access either way, but it's going to be a lot harder because I have radio from 10 to 1 every day. And the Titans have media availability usually starting at 11. So we're going to figure out a way to make it work for you guys. And either way, I mean, not to sound like a douchebag, but you know that I've got my connection. So I'll make sure that we continue to provide you nuggets that you will hear nowhere else. They're going to double AJ all day, and we have no one behind him that's a threat. Watch Reynolds tape. I have watched Reynolds tape, Maurice. I like him a lot. I think you're being dramatic. Simmer down. Weren't you worried about Josh at first, Buck, says William Duggar? I mean, I didn't know who he was, and then I watched him, and then I felt better. I have Game Pass. That's what it's for. I shouldn't speak until I watch. I spoke. I watched. Now I feel better about it. It's okay to change your opinion after you've learn more. And also, I feel okay about this Fitzpatrick, to be honest with you. Like, he's got some learning to do. Vrabel was all up in his shit today, but that's okay. He's going to learn. He's a rookie. Wesley Bates asked how has Dez looked? I just told you, Vrabel was all up in his shit, but he looked better. That's about as good analysis as I can give you. Our wide receiver core, as it stands, is bad. It's a copycat league. Teams are going to copy what the Ravens did. Load the box, double AJ. Says Jerry Adams. Well, then you probably got to trade for Julio Jones, Jerry, because doesn't that all you're giving me is bitching? I'm giving you solutions. You're not helping. Get in line. I knew who Reynolds was because he's always on the trade block at Madden, says Eric Garst. That's pretty funny. He did well filling in for Cup, says Cogdal on Periscope. Titans for Life says they were doubling AJ even last year. That's why Davis had so many one-on-ones. So, yeah, so let somebody else see. It's okay. What you did with Corey Davis, you can find a way to do with Josh Reynolds, even if he's not quite the athlete that Corey was. It's going to be okay. Breathe. And also, your defense is supposed to be better, so you don't have to score 30 points per game. One would hope. Let us wrap this show up so I can go back to my celebrity softball game at First Horizon Park. It's a great time. I'm having a great time. Durka says, "Am I related to Jeff Swaim?" No, I like Jeff. He's very fun to talk to. But also he is not. Oh, we have a Julio Jones update in the middle of the show. Look at that. Source tonight on the Julio Jones situation. In part, everyone is giving the Falcons time to think about it. This from one team preferring to deal a high mid-rounder for the 7-time Pro Bowler with 6 straight 1,300-yard seasons before 20, and for ATL to take on a good share of Jones' salary. Here's what I'll tell you: the Titans Josina is not irrelevant, Jared. Josina is very, very much connected. Josina could be the best in the business, but I hear she's kind of a pain to work with from some of my friends that work in the business. But what Josina is saying is that this is from one team preferring to deal a high mid-rounder for the 7-time Pro Bowler and for Atlanta to take on a good share of Jones' salary. I'll tell you right now, the Titans aren't asking Atlanta to take on Julio Jones' salary. It may have been a part of the conversation, but they're prepared to take on the whole thing because all they got to do is restructure Tannehill. It's okay. Unlike Austin and Zach have done several times on their show, I haven't seen confidence level of trading for Julio. Spill it, Buck. What percentage are you at? I mean, percentages are stupid, Ryan. They change every day. What is it? It's like me giving you I almost said a bad word, a bad words that I shouldn't say. I say whatever I want for the most part, but I try not to offend too many people. Yeah, percentages are dumb. So I'll tell you my percentage is I feel good about it. If you want a number, it's like me telling you the Titans are going to go 9-8 or 8-7 or 6-11. Who knows? Who gives a shit? It's a percentage. Breathe. We got to wrap up this show because one, my laptop is running out of power and I forgot to plug it in before I started the primetime show. But that's not important because it's time for the Brymac Bounce Back, baby. This is what we are going to do each and every Thursday night. It's presented by Brymac Mechanical. Who needs to bounce back this weekend? Brymac Mechanical presents it. BRYMAK, Brymac.com. That's where you go for satisfaction guaranteed on all of your HVAC needs. Brymac will hook you up. They will put you in a position to succeed. Trust the experts who promise you that they will deliver when it comes to your commercial or residential HVAC service. Brymac.com. Who needs to bounce back? Cody Lee says the Vandy boys need to bounce back. Bench getting cold. Got to go, says Tig. I know. I got to go out there and hopefully they are. Hopefully they're winning, because when I left, we were tied because I gave up a home run. It was a bad look. Julio, says Bavin. Julio. That's what AJ Brown says. That's what they say when you're going to catch a touchdown. That's what they're going to say when you catch a pass. They don't even do that for me. That's what it says. Corey D. Jackson says, hit a dinger for the crew. Buck says, I'm going to try. The Lakers need to bounce back. All hail King James. Maurice, you nailed it. That is how. Breathe, my brother says, I'm trying. Listen, I thought I've gone 30 minutes without breathing. Who needs to breathe? You can breathe when you're dead. Well, I guess you can't breathe when you're dead. That was a stupid thing for me to say. But anyway, you know who needs to bounce back? It's the Lakers. LeBron James, they tip off in 20 minutes against the Phoenix Suns. They are down 3-2 to the Phoenix Suns. He looked like a bit of a baby walking off the floor with, 5.5 minutes left to go in the game. Frank Vogel said he needed to work on his training routine. Bullshit, LeBron. Stay out, play, finish. If you don't want to play, sit the bench, be with your teammates. It's diva behavior. I know diva behavior because I am a diva. But I'll tell you what has been a lot of fun. The Brymac Bounce Back, presented by our friends at Brymac Mechanical, BRYMAK, Brymac.com. King Mofaka says, war paint. The F is going on here. I'll tell you what's going on. I'm in the middle, literally in the middle of a celebrity softball game at First Horizon Park. That's where I'm headed back right now. And I thought I'd come during the third inning to do the primetime show for you. That's why I got all my sounds gear on. I'm out there playing. Well, I was playing center field because they had me in left and I was getting worked. Got an RBI, struck, but I got out. Got an RBI though, which made me very happy. All we're looking for is contact. Buck about to ball out, says Wesley Bates. You're damn right. You know that it's right. And you know why? I'll tell you why, Wesley. Because I'm not tired yet. Have a great weekend, guys. Love you. No!